Hey everybody, it's Ryan with Spotter Staffing, going in back in Donuts with Directors in person. I'm so excited. We're here at Beach Park District, the Beach Park District to meet with Jorge. It's going to be amazing. This guy is such a character and such a good guy, and he's been so good to us. We're really excited to be doing this. So, Donuts with Directors, episode 7, I believe, coming up next. All right, we're rolling. So we are here with my good friend Jorge. We're up here in Beach Park.
Great.
I love coming up this far.
We're excited. We always happy when you come this way.
Yeah.
Talk about how we can improve our system in here. It's fantastic.
But I'm not the only guy driving from basically Chicago.
Absolutely.
You as well, my friend.
I have to do 45 minutes. Yes.
So that's dedication. Yeah.
Absolutely. Beach Park is a very special place. I've been here for 4 years now, and the community is great. Being the Director of Student Services gives me the opportunity of work not only for students with special needs, but also bilingual students and family discipline, things like that. So keeps me busy, and we love it.
Awesome. So I think this is our 7th Donuts with Directors episode.
Wow,
so you're lucky number 7.
Great.
We've got donuts. They're sitting on your desk over there, which we both respect. Amazing Joe's Donut out of Niles, right?
Yeah,
we
I was
love
the one who gave you that.
You were the guy, yeah. And we have now gone that they basically we should get them to sponsor these because we get them every time from there, right?
Yeah. You can stop by, after. We can walk around the cemetery for a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. Burn it off. Yeah.
Go to the door.
Yeah. So amazing. So we're here doing this one. I'm so excited to be here. We love starting these off by just telling us. Tell us how tell us kind of where you came from and how you got into special education.
Right, absolutely. I've been in the field of education for 24 years now. First, I was like many of us. I was teaching. Mm-hmm. I was a teacher in CPS at the time, and I did bilingual education, special education, computer science, all that kind of stuff. And then one of the administrators in the building, remember at the time, he encouraged me, hey, listen, you're a good fit. You should go back to school and get your endorsement, your degree, so you can eventually be a teacher leader or an administrator. Mm-hmm. Then I went back to school, completed my master in education and leadership, and right after I got a job as an assistant principal, and the good thing is it was in the same school that I was working.
Oh, awesome!
So I knew everybody, and even though people say
that was CPS,
okay. Even though people say that it's really challenging, but it was not, because you develop that respect between the individuals and yourself. And I did have a lot of cheerleaders who would cheer for me in the process. Yeah. I did a couple of years in CPS. After that, an opportunity arose in Cicero. They needed a regional supervisor for special ed, and very interesting. So I moved from Chicago after a couple of years, and worked in Cicero for 5 years. While I was there, I was in the process of going back to school, deciding what I really wanted to do, and another administrator approached me and said, hey, listen, you're a good fit. Would you like to be director of one department? And I was like, yeah, why not? So he just kind of told me this is what you have to do. Went back to school, got my degree, completed my endorsement certification. You oversee the discipline, expulsion hearings, you collaborate with the board, you collaborate with the superintendent, you manage the IDEA grant, you manage the Title III grants, you develop improvement plans for the district, you develop strategic plans that are aligned with 5 years. The goal is to make sure that every year we complete one step of the plan, and it's fantastic. You don't have to every year try to figure out what you're gonna do. You already have a 5-year plan.
Gotcha.
So you have to follow. You can tweak it along the way, but it's the best thing that I've ever done. And I did that in collaboration with Dr. Duster. He was great leading us into this 5-year plan. So this is our 2nd year. We have 3 more years to go, and once we see the end of it, then we sit down and develop the other one.
That's really cool.
So in short, pretty much what I have done in the last 24 years.
That's awesome. Where'd you grow up at?
I was born in New York,
Yeah.
and then when I was 6 years old, my parents moved to Puerto Rico, and I moved to the island, and the island was fantastic. It's great. I missed the island badly.
You go every year, right?
I go every year. So
yeah.
when I was 6, moved to the island, and then I was there, went to school, college, and after that came back here. But 25 years was in PR, what we call PR Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time in the beach, a lot of time, having fun.
Yeah.
And if anybody has an opportunity, I always recommend go to PR. It's really safe. 90% of the people, they understand, and at least 50% of people speak English. It's
Yeah.
People think, well, I'm supposed to be there. Really fun. Yeah, my parents are there. One of my sisters is there, and anytime I have an opportunity, I fly there, take a couple of days. When I come back, I get my tan back and my energy.
And then you come back to this.
I come back and I come back to below zero. But, I have 6 more years to go.
Yeah.
And after 6 years, I probably relocate back to the island.
Do you think you go back?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
At least 6 months.
That's awesome.
Yeah, winter.
Oh yeah.
I'll
Don't
be back
choose
for
summer.
you and Joe Donuts.
Yeah, that's
Besides
right.
that, I got
But
nothing.
only from May until November.
Absolutely.
That's the only time we meet.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So how did you get to Chicago then? Or the Chicago area?
So I came here just to visit, and some people say that if you fall in Grand Park or Millennium Park, you never, you always be here
Yeah.
forever. So growing up in part of my life in New York and PR, New York is not a really attractive city in the fact that they don't have alleys, means that all the trash
It goes
is
to the
in
garden streets.
sidewalk.
Yeah.
So you walk into a big city and you see all the stuff. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. They pick it up and Times Square and Broadway. But then again, you see all the stuff and not to take anything away from Central Park, but when I came to Chicago and I walked through all the parks and the amusements and the museums, I was like, this is a great place for me to raise my kids.
Yeah.
My kids at the time was probably 5, 3, and 2.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm gonna give the opportunity that probably deserve by growing up in a great place, a beautiful city with a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
So we moved here, and then my kids went to school, and it was great.
Yeah.
So I was impressed, especially with Millennium Park and Grand Park and the lake shore as you walk,
Yeah.
and the skyline. All the stuff was
Yeah.
great. So I was impressed, and I loved the city right away.
Yeah.
And we moved here, and 24 years after.
Wow.
I'm still here. Now, the only thing I don't like is the weather. Like, this
Part of the time. Yeah.
But besides that, that was the reason I stayed around.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there was plenty of opportunities for bilingual individuals at the time. I just went to, I think I went to CPS, and the very same day they say, sign here, you're going to start next week.
They're still doing that. Yeah, they'll still do it. Yeah.
The funny thing, I was not a teacher at the time.
Oh, really?
No, I came with a computer background.
Okay.
My bachelor is in computer information system.
Gotcha.
And I did work in banks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But being in a room with computers for 8 hours, it was not my
Yeah.
idea of a future.
So how did you decide to go to CPS to look for a job?
A friend of mine said they're looking for, they need some help in there.
Yeah.
And they need some teachers now. Let me go up there to the building. It was 125 South Clark at the time. I don't
Sure.
know if it's still there, but just went up there, talked to a few people. A recruiter says, sign this form, send the paper after. Tomorrow you're going to be submitting that school.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And so that's when you went back to get your teacher certificate.
I was there, and
Yeah.
people was like, yeah, you haven't? No, I'm not. But they said, go back to school. So I went, they paid for my master, and they paid for a lot of things at the time. It was a lot easier. Now, I don't know how things are
Sure.
now, but back in the day, being bilingual, being able to
Yeah.
be prepared, and that's why it's so important for the future generation to know that school is important, especially college. You need to have your degree because that'll open your doors for many, many things.
Yeah.
Wouldn't I have a degree at the time? Probably who knows what I would be, but
Yeah.
one door opened the other, and here I am looking for
Awesome.
retirement.
Awesome. And your wife's in education as well, correct?
My wife
Yeah.
is working right now in Morton High School. She is a literacy coordinator also for the district. Yes.
Awesome.
Mhm.
What about the kids? Anybody thinking about going to education or?
They do not. My oldest is going to UIC. She is going to be a bio engineer.
Wow. Yeah.
Sounds like it, right?
Yeah.
I think we did well with that one. And the other ones sure decided what they're going to do with their life.
They'll be fine. Yeah.
They'll be perfectly fine the same way that I did.
Yeah. That's so cool. That's so cool. So plans, you want to go back to to PR in 6 years when you retire. What else do you want to do? What else, if you look forward to retirement? Consult?
I would like to
Yeah.
open my consulting agency with my wife.
That's awesome.
And then be able to go to the district and look at special education, bilingual departments, and provide the feedback that they might need. A lot of districts do not have that help, and we'll be able to sit down and develop long-term plans to address the specific needs
Yeah.
in different areas, all the way from the financial part of it to the staffing part of it and professional development.
Sure.
So I think that will be our plan after that, retire, just not to be bored, a couple of times a year, go to a district and provide professional development to the staff.
That's awesome. That sounds really. I think you guys would be
1099,
amazing.
we'll take 1099s.
We'll do 1099.
Yeah,
Love it.
easy.
Love
Pay
it.
my own taxes.
Love it. I love it. All right. So this is the stuff that we get a lot of questions on. This is big questions. Where do your sports alliances lie? You were born in New York, so you could have alliances to the New York side of things.
Boy.
But
The good thing is that I ended up in PR, so I couldn't.
yeah, you could really go anywhere. Yeah.
Knicks.
You're a Knicks fan?
I've been a Knicks fan, but then moving in the island, everybody was Chicago Bulls fan.
Yeah,
So
at that time especially.
I
Yeah.
turned into the dark side, so I ended up being a Michael Jordan fan, and then I see how he burned, the Knicks.
Yeah.
55 points anytime.
It was
he
so
went to
much
the
fun.
Garden, so let's root for MJ.
So you're talking like John Starks, Patrick Ewing,
Oh,
that Knicks. Those were your
absolutely.
guys.
Yes, yeah. Ron Harper, all
Yeah.
these people, heavy
Yeah.
duty.
Then Harper came here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So now Bulls fan. You'd say I'm a Bulls fan, or you still have ties to the Knicks?
So I like LeBron. So I even though say he moved from here, went to to Cleveland, and
Yeah.
everybody look after themselves. I bet you guarantee many years ago, if the players had the opportunity to choose their own teams and make this super mega
Right,
team,
right,
they
yeah.
would have done in
Yeah.
Golden State, which I don't like because.
It's a different game
You
now.
pretty much are
Yeah.
buying
Yeah.
your championship.
Yeah.
But LeBron did what he did, and I've been a fan of LeBron. What he does, not too much of Cleveland, but the things that he does, I like to see. Wherever he goes to play, I'm going to see it. Doesn't matter if they win or they lose.
Sure.
I see what he put in the court every single day,
Yeah.
and it's a testament to all the prep that he probably does.
Yeah.
And you prep, and you'll be successful in everything that you do.
Everything. Yeah. It doesn't matter basketball.
It's
or not.
funny. I was
Yeah.
reading that the guy, everybody was making fun of him at the time because he was spending like $500,000 just in physical therapy and treatment. He walked everywhere with a guy who would massage, electricity, all this stuff. He could be having dinner, and the guy behind him was massaging. The guy was like, "What is he doing?" Well, he was taking care of his body because that's what's going to make him who he is now.
Yeah.
Everybody else is retired. He's still playing. I mean, I think 2 nights ago, he did like a 360 dunk. It was
Right.
incredible.
It's
I was like,
amazing.
how
Yeah.
a guy who's going to be that
Yeah.
age doing this stuff. So he
That's
planned
cool.
for the future. So that and go Cubs.
You're a Cubs fan. That was my next question because we get a split. Cubs Sox.
Absolutely. Yeah, Cubs fan. I mean, the vibe and it's just a Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you go there just for.
Very different now, though.
It's kind of different.
Yeah.
I went not too long ago, right after the pandemic. I think I did.
Like when they opened? Yeah.
I went to a game with still Wrigley Field.
It's still a field. Yeah. You still get in there. It's still a field.
Not to take anything away from it. Still Minute Maid still the other one that sucks? I don't know if they changed it.
It's guaranteed rate, I think now.
One of
Yeah.
those. I mean,
Yeah.
the general guy, right? It's a general. But Cubs.
Yeah. You're a Cubs guy.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's a big question here. We ask everybody. Cubs Sox. So.
I can't move to that.
How do
I
you
might
get-
never go back to New York after this.
Yeah. I don't go on camera, but that you can hear me. But I'm a Cardinals fan,
Okay.
so it goes.
Really?
I'm just not liked by anyone.
Yeah, I like those because you can get cheap tickets right on the green. I think I went with Sergio Rodriguez.
Did you?
To one of the games, and we were sitting right there by the green, $25.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can afford it.
Love it.
Now the drinks were a little bit pricier.
Yeah, he's a big Sox fan. Yeah. Very cool. All right, so the last thing we like to do before we close these things is give you a couple minutes to, tell anybody that's thinking about getting into special education why it's a great career choice and, why they should get involved and do that.
Absolutely. Working with diverse students give you the opportunity of developing individualized plans for the students who definitely you're going to be able to track, develop specific goals, who are going to be able to help the student close the achievement gap. At the same time, the student is going to be able to be exposed to grade level standards, and you will have the opportunity to work with those students in small groups, collaborate with other teachers, and being able to be part of a fantastic team of related service providers who are looking out for those students who are receiving special education because they qualify for one of the disabilities. So you're going to be able to work with social workers, school psychologists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, case managers, and it's great because you can make a difference by focusing on what is important in the kids, and they develop these plans that eventually assist the students in moving forward from one grade level to the other, and the very successful stories, you're going to be able to close that gap, and those students receiving services will going back to gen ed with the tier intervention needed. So anybody who has an opportunity, this is a great field. I did it special ed for 6 years, great experience, and then you develop that long-term life relationship with the students. And as of now, I have students who are, for my first special education classroom, the students are probably now 30 years old, and when I see them on the street, they remember me. And some of them are very appreciative of the things that we did, and some of them tell me, Mr. Seda, I remember one time you yelled at me, and I was like, I'm sorry, I apologize for doing that. And he said, no, I deserve it because I was not behaving, and good thing that you told me not to do it again. And things like that make you think the guy is right now probably 6'2" and 300 pounds. So yell at me
Why did I yell at him?
But they do remember. They do remember. Everybody remember a teacher who make a different impact in those students, and it's about equity and understanding that they should be getting the same services that everybody should be getting at the time. So it's a great field. You have an opportunity. There's a lot of opportunities out there. There's a lot of grants, and I know the state provide a lot of support to teachers who want to go into hard to fill jobs like EL and special ed. So anybody who wants to do it, I recommend it. It's been very gratifying and open the doors to many students and families and things like that, and you're needed.
Yeah, it's so good. Thank you so much for doing this. It's been a pleasure, obviously, for me to get to know you, and I'm looking forward to working with you, hopefully, for the next 6 years, and then watching you sail off into retirement and enjoy it. So
you can go and join me in the island.
I really should. Yeah, I really should. So thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.